Good evening everyone and welcome to League of Europe. We are finally live after about 5 minutes of me faffing on with connection. We are live for Division 1, Season 3, Round 5 of the Championship, and we take in the Circuit de Monte Carlo. Of course, it is Côte d'Azur, also known as this circuit, and it produced one hell of a race last time out. If you haven't seen the overtake I've posted up on my Twitter, at B52Head, you can have a look at the overtake of ILRT Sterling against Cantera last season in Division 1. What an unbelievable race that was, and what best overtake I think I've ever seen in league racing in general. Of course, I'm James Head, going to be taking you through the action here tonight. Now, there are a few concerns currently out in the Discord. I know some of the servers might be messing up. It does appear to me that I've joined the session fine. Some people may just have to restart their applications, they may just have to reset their Wi-Fi. The servers are looking like they are slow or down at some stage. Hopefully it's not going to be the case, and hopefully we can get a full night of action for League of Europe here tonight. But in the meantime, no Alpha Tricks here tonight in Division 1, which means the picture for Monaco is blown pretty much wide open to anyone that wants to decide to win here tonight. We've got Alpha Tricks out in front, still in the championship, even with his non-start tonight. He's on 89 points, leading the way. Verstappen is in second on 50 points, with Campbell in third on 41. Of course, Verstappen taking his unlikely victory, if I've got to be honest. Of course, there has been a bit of criticism in the F1 community about it. It's nothing short of a win at the end of the day. It's a league racing win. He should be able to enjoy it by himself and not have the toxicity of some people out there within the F1 community. Campbell obviously finishing second as well. QVR 1-2 last time out in Spain. Well, Luigi is in fourth in the championship on 33 points, with the defending champion Montana in fifth on 32 points. Then we've got Cohen, another QVR driver, in sixth on 24 points. Alonso is in seventh on 23. He has picked up a 5-second time penalty and a 5 penalty points to his tally as a result of a collision last time out in Spain. I do believe that was with Spine last time out in Spain. Looking further down the field, Juma's in 8th, with Spine in 9th. 21 points for Juma, 20 points for Spine, Boulem and Cantera. Cantera not racing here tonight. There's been a family emergency with him. Of course, we do wish him well in whatever is going to happen with that. I think his grandma's in hospital. Of course, we do wish him well, and hopefully she has a full recovery. And everyone here at League of Europe will extend our finest wishes to Cantera's family at this distressing time. Hopefully she makes a full recovery, as I say. Lyon is in 12th in the meantime on 15 points, with Harrison David in 13th. Another driver not attending tonight, he is on 12 points. Xjari is on 10 points, our lobby host here tonight. No Larkin either. Bullet Boy is in 15th on 9. Larkin is in 16th on 8. Then we've got Dakar on 4, Westy on 3, Neo on 3, and Toxic on 1. Neither of the two racing points, that is Chapelelli and Cizo, have not finished a race this season, which means Racing Point have not picked up any points this season. Come on guys, pick up the pace. That's what I'm going to say there. Constructor standings, Ferrari currently leading the way on 74 points. It's 9 points behind, 9 points of difference to Red Bull in second on 65, with Toro Rosso in third, the sister team of the Red Bulls, on 54. Then McLaren is in fourth on 52, Renault is in fifth on 43, then Alfa Romeo in sixth on 41, with Mercedes in 7th on 32. Then we've got Haas on 28, Williams on 16, and Racing Point, as I've already alluded to, haven't picked up any points here tonight. 13 drivers then about to do battle around the legendary Monaco street circuit. Of course, it is a traditional street circuit, armed court barriers galore, and I'm sure everyone is going to have fun there out on track. And I have a feeling we're going to see quite a few safety cars, and maybe quite a few VSCs, and maybe quite a few DNFs tonight as well. I wouldn't put it past me for 1 second whatsoever. I'll just check in to see how we are doing on the Division 1 chat on Discord to try and give you guys some sort of update about about some racing. Louis came in with an absolute wild comment saying, if this is how Brexit is going to treat us, then I want back in. To be honest, I'm not sure. Of course, we are running on a European server as opposed to a London server here tonight, so that might be where the issues are spanning from. Hopefully, as I say, I spent 5 minutes myself trying to create the party, coming up with a network error, had to reconnect my Wi-Fi. Back here, luckily, to start the stream in time. So, I'm going to tune into the comment section in the meantime. Great comment, that, by the way, by LRT Louis, who is joining us here tonight for his first race in League of Europe this season. And I do believe we might have another new driver as well. We do, in fact, have another driver. I'm very fond of him as well. It's Ollie Flavel. On his heyday, a very consistent driver. I've commentated on him quite a few times where he has, let's just say, DNF'd out of the race. Hopefully that won't be the case tonight for Mr. Flavel out on track. Let me have a look then at some of the comments that are coming through. Of course, if you are new to League of Europe, then welcome, because we are here for Division 1. Division 3 also going to be running simultaneously on stream, so if you want to view Division 3 instead of Division 1, feel free to, but Division 1 will be where all the action is at. I can beg you for that, for sure. Ollie consistent, I know. He can be on his heyday. When everything goes right for him, he can. Trust me on that one. Hello to McCrew, hello to Schmidt as well, who's in the chat. Hello to Gary, and Bullet Boy as well. He says, actually, I hope his connection is good. I hope it is as well, because obviously we do want to have the best connections here in League of Europe. We've got 13 drivers currently, which is one down on the attendance from last season, I should say, in Season 2, where of course we had that phenomenal overtake with LRT, Sterling and Cantera not racing, Sterling not racing either, which is a shame for both. I think they would have done maybe a round 2 around here in Monaco. But of course, we do have to really beg to differ who is going to win here tonight. I think it's a wide open affair, if I've got to be honest. It looks like we are getting ready to go with 13 drivers. There are a few full-time drivers and a few reserve drivers missing. I'm not surprised, really. It's Monaco. We should see a better attendance next week. If drivers are not wanting to commit just because it's Monaco, then I'm sorry, but that's a bit of a lame excuse, to be honest. You don't see drivers in Formula 1 in real life quit the race because they're struggling around the track or anything like that, or they can't get a lap together. It's a pretty lame excuse if you ask me. But of course, it begs the question, with Alpha Trix not attending, what is going to happen out on track? Is Verstappen going to continue the good form? I saw a tweet from him earlier on. He replied to me on Twitter saying that he's not feeling confident at all, and he wouldn't be surprised if he actually DNFs out of this race. Of course, Verstappen is going to be one of the drivers to watch out for after his unlikely win, as I say, in Spain. Campbell as well, Division 2 champion, stepping up to Division 1, currently ahead of the defending champion Montana in Division 1. And I will just beg the question as well, we are doing Monaco at midnight. Yes, you will be seeing Monaco at night, which I think is absolutely phenomenal for you guys. Hopefully you will be able to get to see the full extent of that. Looking at some of the comments then, Gary saying Monaco destroys people's attendance. I think that's what we've already said here. 13 is disappointing, but it's a good number nonetheless as well. These guys, just think, if there's 3 DNFs, 10 people might, if there's 1 DNF, 12 of them might be picking up points. That's what you've got to think. With a smaller attendance, there are greater chances for these guys to pick up points. Much needed points in the case of some of them, like Lyon, for example, who got disqualified earlier on in the season in Bahrain. But here we go for qualifying, 18 minutes worth of qualifying, and then we've got a 30 lap race for you. 50% distance, of course, 78 laps if you were doing 100% round here, but we're not like that. And you will be able to see the track map as well. There is the full extent of the track map, and what a track this is. one DRS zone, that is down the main straight. Of course, there are no other opportunities really for any overtaking around this track, and I always stick by my theory of if you qualify first, you are going to win the race. Most cases I see around Monaco, that tends to happen. I'm going to say Montana will reclaim some of his form tonight and maybe take pole position, but he's got this man to worry about, ILRT Louis, who debuts here in League of Europe for the first time this season, and it's looking like he could well take pole position, looking at some of the time trial times that guys have done. We've got the first car then coming out of the pit lane, a very tight track, and it is QVR Dakar who was first out on track. The two Toro Rossos then are first out on track, with Verstappen just in behind. Dakar, of course, the Scotsman. And already you can see clipping the barrier there through Massenet and into Casino Squares. Dakar then comes down towards the Grand Hotel hairpin before we come towards Portier at turn 8 out on track. But I feel confident enough not to do this race without a track map. Hopefully you guys will correct me if I do go wrong at places. I know my way around here. I've driven around here about an hour before we came live. I drove a couple of times around the track on a time trial, invalidated pretty much every single lap, but hey ho, that's why I'm a commentator and not a driver out on track. Everyone then is out on track, and also with 13 drivers here, you can see everyone will be a bit more spaced out as opposed to a full grid. QLC is the only one not out the pit yet. Dakar then is going to go for a lap as we see a right snap of oversteer coming out the final corner from Dakar, and he's about to come across the line to start his lap. Down into turn 1 at Sandavot, just getting very close to the arm court wall. We have got a bit of a lag actually picking up with Dakar. Hopefully that is just a reason of the lobby connection maybe, rather than anything else. But Dakar now through Massenet and into Casino Square, getting very tight to the wall there on the curb. That was where ILRT Sterling went around the outside of Cantera last season, remember. Dakar now into the Grand Hotel hairpin. Missed his first sector time, but I think it was about an 18.9 or a 19 flat, something like that. Dakar then into Portier, of course, where Verline ended up upside down into the wall, and Dakar looks like he's actually backed off this lap and he's going to let Verstappen through. So Verstappen then has been let through on his lap, so let's catch on board with Spain race winner Verstappen. Coming into the very tricky chicane there, now down into Tabac corner before the piscine section, better known to you and me of course as the swimming pool section. Dakar just getting out of the way there with the yellow flags. Just cutting across the chicane there, Verstappen slightly through the swimming pool chicane, now into Raskas and then into the final corner at Antinoges, and this is going to be a lap for QVR Verstappen. Looks like we're going to go straight into the 109s to begin off with. Yeah, 109.4 there out on track. Let's see Montana then as he comes through Raskas. ILRT Louis already to the top of the timing screens. Montana, though, about to come across the line. He's going to stick it right to ILRT Louis, I think, and it's actually third position, 108.9 there for Montana, who actually just misjudges his braking point completely into turn 1 at Sandavot, and a 108.9 is his current best, but you can see he's lost his left side end plate, so that'll be him straight back into the pits. Boualem goes quickest, and it's a 108.2. Wow, the Frenchman really striking up a chord early on. Boualem, not even 4 minutes into qualifying, has taken provisional pole position with a 108.2, and he's just over 4 1/4 tenths ahead of ILRT Louis. Campbell is in third, line in fourth, good laps respectively in the top 7. The top 7 separated, I should say, by about 1.2 seconds there out on track, while Luigi and X-Jarry, the two Renaults, just coming around the first corners there. They've just completed their laps, a 110.1 and a 111.3 respectively. Let's see how one of the newcomers is doing, and that is not what you like to see. One of the newcomers has lost his front wing. That is Ollie Flavel. Maybe my comments about him being a bit inconsistent is coming true. Of course it is Monaco, so don't be surprised about that, but Mr. Flavel is coming round into the final couple of corners, and you can probably imagine he's going to come straight into the pit, because you don't want to be completing a lap of this track with front wing, because you'll probably end up at the session. So, Boualem out on top. The early trading blows have been done, as Ollie Flavel has indeed left the session. Boualem with a 108.2, from ILRT Louis in second, Campbell in third, line in fourth, Montana in fifth. Top 5 separated by under 7/10 of a second. Hopefully that was just a disconnect from Ollie Flavel's end and not a rage quit. Hopefully drivers may have their balls between themselves here tonight and actually try and compete at Monaco because it is, of course, a track that is on the calendar. Baku and Abu Dhabi were removed, maybe unpopular with some of the guys, but for me, Monaco is a really great challenge. Dakar then is back out on an out lap, and we're about 1/3 the way through qualifying. Boualem out on top, Louis in second, Campbell in third. Let's have a check then at your comments coming through to see how people are doing. Bulletboy coming in and saying Monaco isn't the most favoured track, so it's understandable for less drivers, not going to lie. Major start last as there's less chance of me getting punted or hit. Might be a wise tactic, to be honest. McCrew saying good luck to Bulletboy as well, and of course good luck to everyone there out on track. As I say, hopefully we do have a good attendance tonight, and hopefully we do have good finishes. Of course, don't think Ollie remembers that we have got top 12 position for point scoring finish here tonight in League of Europe, in all divisions, I may add. So, obviously, the drivers are going to be out on track. But Dakar now preparing for a lap. He invalidated on his first one. So he's now coming round the final corner to start his lap. And he's about to come through to Sander Vot. That is Kvyat Verstappen. Handley, his teammate, getting out of the way as Dakar attacks turn one. Very nice through there. And now up the hill towards Massenet and Casino Square once again. Through into turn 3 and 4 this is. Left and right through here. Dakar lagging a little bit, but we'll cut back on board with the broadcast cam just for that. And it's an 18.4 through the first sector for Kvyat Dakar, and it's a purple first sector actually. There's a yellow flag in the turn 1. That is somebody just coming out of the pits, I do believe. That might have been Bullet Boy just coming on an out lap. He's just came out of the pits, I do believe. So Dakar now coming through the tunnel and then towards the very tricky chicane. This left-right combination. Looking very nice through there. And then in towards the back at turn 12. Really getting close to the arm court barriers. Of course, 19 turns according to the F1 map. We're going through 13 and 14 now, the swimming pool section, then through another tricky chicane at 15 and 16. Looks a little bit of an invalidation to me there, but doesn't look too bad. Dakar then through the final couple of corners, spinning out, losing the back end there slightly. Dakar then around the final corner. I think he'll go 6th with this across the line. Yeah, 109.1 for Dakar. Nice lap that by the Scotsman. We'll see if anybody else can improve, and we'll have a ride on board then with our championship, with our defending champion in League of Europe Division 1, and it is Montana on a 108.9 currently. Not sure how we saw his second sector, but he is coming through Raskas now. Line just ahead of him by about 700th of a second, so be looking to try and claim spoils on this. Montana across the line, much better lap. That is the Montana we like to see. A 108.3 from the Swiss man, the defending champion, reclaiming some of his old form. He hasn't had hit his own way this season. And Montana with a 108.3 goes second and 3/10 ahead of ILRT Louis. So ILRT Louis hopefully will be finding any sort of improvement out on his lap. Let's ride on board then further down, see if there's anybody coming through into the final sector. We've got Line just coming across the line. Then Campbell is just coming through the Grand Hotel hairpin. Dakar not on the lap. We'll ride on board then with Verstappen, who's coming through the swimming pool second. Has gained about 500 through the middle sector. He's still down though roughly by about 600th of a second coming into Raskas. I think he's got his teammate ahead of him as well, which is quite handy. It's Williams in fact quite ahead of him. I need my eyes testing. That's ILRT Louis obviously on a lap. Verstappen then across the line. Is he going to improve? He does. He just ekes out about 300th of a second there, Kvyat Verstappen, and he goes out with a 109.4. Not really a shabby lap that at all from Verstappen. Of course, these drivers will be looking to try and reclaim themselves in the championship picture. ILRT Louis then through the first sector is already more than a 10th and a half up, coming down towards the Grand Hotel hairpin. Very tricky hairpin. Some drivers do opt to go neutral. ILRT Louis opting to go for a very shallow second gear. Now into Portier. Looking very good through there. And now he's got to find, remember, 4/10 of a second to challenge Boualem for provisional pole at this stage. We are halfway through qualifying, and if you're just tuning in to League of Europe Division 1, that's not what you like to see, because Louis has gone straight on. I think he missed his braking point there, and he's off on a lap, and that's why you see the red on the invalidation. Verstappen then and Xjari both on laps, as is Campbell, I do believe. He's 300 down in the first sector. In the meantime, we'll run on board with Xjari, who is ahead of him out on track, the Renault driver. We've got Boulem also on a lap, and Boulem, in fact, is coming through Raskas now, so we'll run on board with him as he comes through Anthony Noges at the final corner, getting very tight to the wall, not really getting the best exit out. Can Boulem improve? He won't. He's about 2/10 down there with Boulem, and he stays in provisional pole position with no improvement. Campbell then on a lap with Xjari. We'll cut to Xjari first, who's into Raskas. Campbell then is just coming through the swimming pool section. You can see him on the right hand side of your screen, and that is not what we like to see either, because Xjari has just spun it into pit lane. That's not what we like to see. Division 1, the drivers in Division 1 getting caught out here in Monaco. Campbell then about to improve, I think, on his lap. Yeah, 3/10 improvement, goes up to third, ahead of ILRT Louis. So the Division 2 reigning champion up into Division 1 this season goes third in Monaco. Good lap that from QVR Campbell. And he's less than 2/10 of a second off Montana as well. 7 minutes to go. Boulem leads, Montana second, Campbell third, Louis fourth, Lyon in fifth, Alonso sixth, Dakar seventh, Verstappen in eighth, with Xjari in ninth, while Weegee has just started a lap in 10th. We'll cut on board with that then. In the meantime, see if ILRT Louis is actually on a lap. He is on. He's just actually caught the curb there through the swimming pool section. Left side end plate has completely gone off the car as well. Unlucky that for ILRT Louis. It was 2/10 down anyways. I think he probably would have been coming into the pits. In the meantime, we'll cut back on board with the Belgian, Waluigi, who finished third in the championship last season in Division 1. Actually drove a really good race around here, if I remember, last season. Obviously trying to reproduce some of that form. Xjari saying didn't get caught out, wanted to drift into the pit, but absolutely binned it. Ollie has apparently left the Discord server. Well, I think that's all you really have to say. There was a hat in the wall there. I think that was Bullet Boy. Yeah, Bullet Boy either getting out of the way or was in the wall, while Weegee in the meantime 1/10 of a second up in the Renault. And is he going to improve ahead of his teammate, who is about 5/10 ahead of him on a lap? Well, Weegee then through Anthony Noges at the final corner. He's about to come across the line now. He should find a lot of improvement here across the line. He doesn't go ahead of his teammate, who was actually just coming out the pits there. Xjari says 9th, while Weegee in 10th, but improves by about 5/10 of a second there. Dakar was on the lap. He was 2/10 up. He has invalidated this one. As you can see, the red track map is up. We'll go on board then with the McLaren, Montana, who is purple through the middle sector. So can he find a bit more time? Oh, just losing that. Very close to the on-court barrier there, Montana. Now through the final couple of corners, through Anthony Noges for the final time, possibly for Montana. Is he going to go quicker than Boulem? No, he doesn't. That half spin cost him. Montana losing a good 2/10 of a second nearly there, and the Swissman stays second with a very, very limited lap time there. An 1800th decrease on his lap time. He was more than 1/10 and a half up, I do believe, through that middle sector. Lyon then is on a lap. He's 8,000 up through the middle sector, about to reach the line now, and he improves by nearly 2/10 of a second. So Lyon goes up into 4th. ILRT Louis dropped down into 5th, and ILRT Louis not really having his own way here in Monaco, but it's Monaco. What do you expect? There has been a moment at the final corner. I think that was Xjari into the wall there, and Anthony Noges. There's a Mercedes M plate, I do believe, that is off, which can only lead me to believe that was Boulem's from earlier on in the session. Plenty of front wings going off here, plenty of damage being picked up out on track, and in fact I think it might have been Bullet Boy's Haas that has picked up front wing damage. Yeah, he's lost that right side end plate, so that would mean it was a silver looking colour. It's Bullet Boy's right side end plate, that is what has lost. I think he's hit the wall on the pit straight. Boulem then still out in front for Montana second. Campbell is up to third, of course. He's just coming out of the pits there. Lyon is in 4th. Louis in 5th. But let's focus then on Alonso, the German, who is on a lap at this stage. Well, he's not on a lap at this moment in time, but he will be soon. He's just coming through to back there. He's 8.1 seconds down. He'll just be preparing for a lap, I do believe. Maybe run it in higher gears as well to try and maintain some of the fuel. Let's see if he does prepare for this lap or if he's going to go into the pits. Judging by his gearing, he's going to come into the pits, and he is. So Alonso is into the pits. Let's run on board then with Verstappen, who's through the middle sector. This is looking like a nice lap so far from Verstappen. Coming through then into Raskas and then into Anthony Noges once again. Verstappen about to come across the line. I think he's finding improvement on this time. It's a 109.2. Yeah, finds improvement. Doesn't jump ahead of Daka though, and remains in 8th position at a 109.2. And if you're being picky, just under a second separating the top 8 drivers out on track with 3 minutes to go. It's Boulem still out in front, Montana second, Campbell third, Lyon fourth, Louis in 5th position with Alonso, Daka, Verstappen, Xjavi, Waluigi, Bullet Boy. Mercurial Caesar hasn't set a lap time yet. I'm not sure if he is running a little bit late. Maybe he's got his dinner or something like that. Let's have a look then at some of the thingy. Xjavi saying just to confirm about some of the attendances. Cantera, Toxic, and Alpha Tricks were all last-minute dropouts for various reasons, which I'll not go on to, and Mitch Emery not showing up either. So we are missing essentially 3 or 4 drivers out on track tonight. It could have been a lot better, the attendance. It's Monaco. I don't blame the drivers really, but then again, you don't see the drivers retiring or missing the race out in real life now, do you? That's the point I'm trying to make with that. Boulem though through the first sector, Campbell then through the middle sector. He's coming through the swimming pool section now, and he's 900ths up on his lap. So the defending Division 2 champion, who has really got his Division 1 campaign off to a great start this season, he's now coming around the final couple of corners through Raskas and then into Andy Nodges, really attacking the final 2 corners. That's going to suit him well. He could go ahead of Montana with this. Campbell across the line, he's 800ths improved, but not ahead of Montana, and he's within 500ths of the Swissman, the defending Division 1 champion and the defending Division 2 champions, locking horns here in Monaco, and they're second and third respectively out on track. Might be quite an interesting angle if you do want to watch the race, of course, for Division 1. Boulem then is on a lap, and he's a 10th and a half. He's 300ths up, actually, just coming through the middle sector. Xjavi has retired. That was, I think, retiring out on track, if I'm not mistaken. In fact, no, that was retiring actually in the pit lane. So Xjavi retiring in the pit lane. Boulem then across the line. Is he going to improve? Yes, he does, by 700ths of a second, and jumps the gap to 2/10, just under, to Montana in second. So the Frenchman really delivering a strong performance here tonight so far, and qualifying he's had all the answers to some of the guys in behind. Montana just preparing up for lap now. The drivers then will enter their final couple of laps. I think Lyon is on a down lap here. In the meantime, LRT Louis 1400ths down through the middle sector, clips the right side end plate. That goes flying towards somebody's souvenir there, to be honest, and LRT Louis is done for tonight. That is his session over and done with. Alonso came across the line, and LRT Louis already straight into the pits and retires out of the session. I'm not surprised really he did lose his right side end plate. Mercurial Caesar's finally out on track. In the meantime, the Racing Point about to reach the final sector now. He's about halfway through the lap at the moment, just getting caught on the curb there, similar to what we saw with Leclerc, remember, in 2017, where he had the brake failure. I think it was in 2018, in fact, where that happened. He went straight into the back of Romain Grosjean back in the day. I think I'm right in saying that. Somebody can correct me if I am wrong, but the Indian driver, Caesar, ran the final couple of corners. Not looking like a competitive lap. I think this might just be a banker for him. Of course, he is in 12th position. Nonetheless, Caesar, yeah, 112.2. He could have found a lot more time on that in the meantime. Alonso not on a lap. Montana is back into the pits, not on a lap. Boulem is done. We're only then expecting Lyon, I think, to improve. So Lyon in the Williams, trying to close in. 5/10 of a second he needs to improve to get to Boulem to try and take pole position out on track. Where you can see he's just invalidated through the swimming pool section. Not a great lap there by Lyon. Bullet Boy goes up to 7th though in the meantime in the Haas. Lyon not going to be improving. He is not happy with that at all. Boulem then is on pole position in Monaco. So the Frenchman literally hopping over the border, the geographical one, and he takes pole position here in Division 1. Run you through the full grid order from qualifying. And Boulem takes it by just under 2/10 of a second from Montana in second. Campbell in third with Lyon in fourth. LRT Louis in fifth. Some of these guys quite unlucky out on laps with front wing damage and what have you. Louis especially that's the case. The German Alonso in 6th, with Bullet Boy in 7th. The 2 QVR drivers, Daka and last week's winner Verstappen, starting in 9th. Xjavi in 10th, while Waging 11th. Caesar in 12th, and Ollie Flavel not setting a lap time and leaving the Discord and leaving the session as well. Just comes to show, really, he could have scored points, but I guess you can't have it your own way sometimes. But then, we are here for 39 laps of racing. Blink and you'll miss it sort of racing here tonight in League of Europe. As I've got an ice cube in my mouth, which is probably why you can... I'm now starting to talk a bit lengthier, trying to get through. Having a look at some of the comments coming through. This game being a snail costed me the final lap. What a comment that is. That's a fantastic comment, X-Jerry. Montana saying it could have been a 0.8, so obviously could have improved on his lap time. Campbell just readying up there. The 30-second countdown has started for the 12 drivers out on track, and hopefully, we're not going to get any DNFs, but I'm not ruling that one out at all, because it's Monaco. We are expecting, I think, some crashes. I'd be foolish if I was to say this is going to be a completely perfect race. Nobody's going to lose their front wing. I'm completely the opposite. I think tonight is going to be, as I like to call it around here, a war of attrition. It is depending on who is going to be the most consistent driver out on track, both figuratively and literally. So the formation lap has then begun here round Monaco. We do want to hear from you guys in the comment section, or I do want to hear from you guys in the comment section. What are your predictions for tonight? You can predict pretty much anything you want. You can predict a top 3, how many safety cars we're going to get, how many VSCs we'll get. If it's anything like my commentary on Thursday for TTL F1, then we are in for some sort of a treat, because Spa in TTL F1 was just quite crazy, to be honest, with somebody with nearly half the field getting disqualified in the safety car, but that is for another discussion, of course. 39 laps then, the drivers await here, and people are really getting on with things on this formation lap at this stage, as we have got a bit of a mix-up in the strategies. Of course, Taiwan not really a premium around here, if I've got to be honest. The softs will probably get to maybe lap 12, I'm going to guess. Lap 12, lap 13. I might be completely displacent with that. If the guys are on a fresh set of softs, but they're not. The mediums and the hards, you should be aiming to go maybe halfway into the race with this. Of course, 12 drivers out on track. You can ignore that 13th, the car in number 13, because he's not here within the lobby. Mediums then for Xjavi and Caesar. Watch out for them if they can try and get an overtake around here. And watch out for Waluigi as well. He's on a set of hard compound tyres. Remember, the top 12, well, pretty much every driver here, as long as they keep on going, as long as they finish as a human car, they can pick up points respectively. And I think that's what everyone will be aiming for. So now the cars rejoin back onto the grid. A very quick formation lap around here in Monaco. And we're about to get going out on track. So then, we had Sterling and Cantera last time out. The 5 red lights are about to come on here in Monaco for round 5 of League of Europe Division 1. It's lights out and away we go. Good stop by Boulem. Has got the jump on Montana, and Campbell, I think, has got Lyon down into the inside of turn 1 through centre box. Everyone getting through quite cleanly in the background. Yes, everyone is through turn 1 safely. Boulem leads then up towards Massenet for the first time. Campbell and Lyon keeping them very honest. Nearly forced them into the wall, but Lyon all the way around the outside. Somehow there's not been any front wing damage coming off there, and that was similar to Cantera and Sterling last season. Lyon around the outside of Campbell. Fantastic move already, as we see a bit of lag actually coming from ILRT Louis. Might be the lobby rather than anything else. On settling down then, Boulem leads the way through Portier for the first time, and under the tunnel they go. Montana in second, Lyon in third, Campbell down to fourth, with Louis in fifth, Alonso right on the back in sixth. The Haas getting very close then to the back of ILRT Louis, who hasn't picked up any front wing damage. Everyone is still going round out on track, which is fantastic to see, and Boualem leads the way for Montana in second as they come through to back for the first time, and now through the swimming pool section. We'll have a focus then back on board with the leader, because Boualem leads the way, as well Ouija is might have just lost a position to Caesar there. We'll try and confirm that in a minute, but Boualem leads the way across the line at the start of lap 1 for Montana in second, Lyon in third, Campbell in fourth, ILRT Louis in fifth, Alonso sixth, Bullet Boy in seventh, Verstappen in eighth. Everyone's spread out pretty evenly out on track. Nothing really to report apart from Daka coming in for a tyre change. He's going under a set of hard compound of tyres early on, so Daka then is into the pits. You can ignore that guy in 13th position, as I've already alluded to. Campbell then right on the back of line. He lost the position. Let's have a look actually at the position changes. Not many position changes as you'd like to predict around here in Monaco. 1 position gains respectively for Lyon, Verstappen, X-Jerry. Caesar has gained 2 from 12th position. He's up into 10th and has drove quite well early on. But on settling down, everyone just now getting into their own rhythms as Campbell tries to get onto the back of Lyon, but look, because Campbell is in a Williams sandwich here. ILRT Louis right on the back of him as they come through the swimming pool section once again for the second time. It's literally blink and you miss it stuff here in Monaco. We're about to start lap 3 as Bullet Boy picks up a 3-second time penalty. That was cutting on the inside of the chicane there at the swimming pool section. Boualem leads the way then across the line. New fastest lap, a 1:12.1. and he sets out onto lap 3. DRS now enabled. Whether they can use it and try and get an overtake is another thing though around here in Monaco. Boualem who leads the way. 1.2 seconds, gap just beginning to extend out. Montana on a reclaim mission in his form. He's in second at the minute with Lyon in third, Campbell in fourth. And on board with ILRT Louis going down towards the Grand Hotel hairpin here. Campbell just taking a wide out line. ILRT Louis trying to not force his way through there. He got caught up on the curb, just a bit of a love tap there, but nothing more than that. No front-wing damage or anything, which is good to see. So the two Brits about to do battle for 4th and 5th. We've got Alonso and Bullet Boy, the two Hatters, in behind in 6th and 7th. Currently, as it stands as well, Racing Point will be picking up their first points both in the Constructors and the Drivers' Championship, courtesy of Caesar. He's currently in P10. Daka, as I say, the only one to come into the pits very early on indeed. But one board, I think, with the right battle at this stage. ILRT Louis right on the back of Campbell as they come through Rascasse once again to start lap 4 already. Lap 4 obviously saw Cantera and Sterling last season do hammer and tong battle. I don't think we're going to see it this time on lap 4, but for season 3 round 5 it's been a very clean start by everyone out on track. Boualem leads then at the start of lap 4 for Montana in second, Lyon is in third with Campbell in fourth, ILRT Louis is in fifth, Alonso in 6th, Bullet Boy in 7th, Verstappen in 8th, X-Jerry getting closer in 9th, Caesar dropping off the pace a little bit, while Ouija as well inside a hard compound of tyres down there in 10th and 11th respectively. Let's run on board then with X-Jerry, the Dutchman, right on the back of the fellow countryman, Verstappen of course, taking the win last time out in Spain. X-Jerry, who hasn't really scored many points this season. I think he's only scored something like 8 points this season, if I do recall looking at the standings, and I'm just trying to find his name, and I can't see his name actually. We'll try and catch up on that in just a second. X-Jerry, in the meantime, coming through the chicane, right into the back now at turn 12, and X-Jerry right on the back of Verstappen. Oh, a bit of a moment there, actually, nearly clipping into the wall on the right side end plate. But luckily, everyone's still going round out on track. Bit of a mistake there from Verstappen this time. He did say he would struggle around here with Verstappen, and he's just beginning to struggle slightly. Bullet Boy is into the pits. Is this for a scheduled after a front wing change? Because you can see the front wing already coming out. X-Jerry then on the back of Verstappen as Caesar has retired in the sector 3. Where was that done at? I think that might have been at Rascasse actually. Let's see how that might have been done. Daka through the final couple of corners. Green flag racing through the final sector, and he's actually done that I think in the pit lane. I think he's retired in the pits as Caesar. Yeah, there's his AI card just coming out. Daka about maybe to get ahead of Bullet Boy here in the meantime. 10th and 11th about to do battle. No safety car produced as a result of that retirement out on track, but it is Boualem who leads by 1.4 seconds. Montana in second, line in third, Campbell in fourth. Pretty much everyone has stayed where they are, barring the DNF from Caesar, of course. And it just really comes to the question that we haven't really seen any sort of battles that we did last season here in League of Europe Division 1. Of course, if you are just tuning in, this is Division 1 League of Europe style, and there is a yellow flag in Sector 2, but that will be Caesar's AI car getting out the way down towards to back. Alonso was into the pits then. The German into the pits. The two Hasses have been into the pits in the space of a lap or so. So he comes on to a set of hard compound of tyres. 33 laps on a set of hards is very not doable at all. I think it'll be two-stop strategies all the way for these drivers here out on track. But the Dutchman and the Brit of Lyon and Campbell, third and fourth, currently out on track as they come now down towards the Grand Hotel hairpin. Verstappen as well getting the pressure from ex-Jerry on the run down towards that corner there, as I will handily get my track map up because I'm struggling to remember some of the corner names. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it so far, but Campbell right on the back though in the meantime of Lyon, down into the chicane once again. But all them 1.5 seconds, the gap has pretty much stabilised here out on track for the lead of the race. It's 1.4 seconds separated. Bit of a love tap there to the arm-cut barrier for Lyon on the right rear wheel of his car. As we now come down into Rascat and Anthony Noges once again, and Campbell is into the pits then. So Campbell into the pits, wanted to try and do an undercut. I think that's a set of medium compound of tyres out for the Red Bull driver. In the meantime, ex-Jerry and Verstappen changing positions. That was Verstappen actually coming into the pit, so that now frees ex-Jerry to go into 5th position. Campbell then, while Luigi is going to be coming past him as well. Let's see then where Campbell is going to come out, because Alonso is through into the final corner now. Campbell out of the pit lane well ahead. Verstappen is going to be behind Alonso, so he's going to be coming out in 9th position as Bullet Boy is just through Anthony Noches. And we are on lap 7. Brualem leads the way then out on track, and it's 1.9 seconds the gap, and that gap really beginning to extend out. The Frenchman carrying a lot of confidence here around the track tonight, and coming now down to the Nivelle chicane at turns 10 and 11, looking like the dominant force out on track here in Monaco. Montana is in second, Lyon in third. A bit of free air though was beginning to give RLRT Louis a bit of a look in now on his teammate. There's 0.8 of a second separating, now 0.7, as Lyon and Louis now begin to do battle out on track. We are nearly a quarter's distance here out on track. Dakar is into the pits and he will be getting lapped as well, I do believe. Dakar, in fact, he's actually came out the pits, so he's just ahead of the front runners. Again, no real impact on the DRS down the straight. Louis not even close enough. You want to be within 0.2 of a second at that final corner at Anthony Noches at turn 19 to really get the best run out of the driver in front. It's very difficult to overtake the best of times. Around here is Lyon. Oh my god, how on earth he recovered that? Lyon, wow, what a recovery. Nearly lost it on the run down towards Mirabeau. My god, Lyon, a heart in mouth moment there for the Dutchman. Louis now right on the back of him, down towards through the tunnel and down towards the Nivelle chicane once again. And out on track, it's beginning to prove maybe quite costly for some of these drivers. Brualem still leads by 1.8 seconds. I'm about to go on to lap 9. Montana is in second, Lyon in third, with Louis in fourth. Let's have a look then at who's pitted and who hasn't out on track. There it is. The top 6 haven't pitted yet. Campbell is beginning to get onto the back of Waluigi as well. In the meantime though, the two Williams are about to do battle. We've been robbed. We've been purely robbed. As a result of that, Lyon is into the pits to go in a lap earlier than some of the guys ahead, which is quite intriguing. In the meantime though, we are going to get a bit of a battle between Waluigi and Campbell. Are we hopefully going to see the first overtake of the night as well? Campbell, the former Division 2 champion, is right on the back of Waluigi, looking to the inside. Sander Vos, not going to be likely down the inside though. He can get the run up the hill here if he's really powerful on the straight, but up the hill, not going to be close enough, and Waluigi staying close quarters to him. Campbell now getting closer down towards Mirabeau, having a bit of a half look there, not going to go for the move. The Red Bull right on the back of the Renault at this moment in time for 5th and 6th position. There is a car in front of them out on track as well. Do believe that might be Dakar. There were certainly blue flags through that section. I might be seeing things, to be honest. I am seeing things. Campbell then right on the back through the tunnel section down the inside. Good move there by Campbell. I think Waluigi might have just let him have that one, but in the meantime, if it was If he didn't let off the power there, I think Campbell probably would have got the move done anyway. So Campbell down the inside through the tunnel section. Haven't seen an overtake there in quite a while, and Campbell is through for the first overtake of tonight, and he's up into 5th position. Good move there on Waluigi, as ILRT Louis has came out just in front of Montana, but Louis goes into his pit box. Campbell then is going to be coming out ahead of Montana, so Campbell in fact has undercut these guys. Oh, Montana catches the inside of the pit wall coming out the pits. Very rare mistake there by the Swiss man. Goodness me. Montana clipping the right side. He didn't lose any end plate damage. I think his rear wheel actually got caught on the exit of the pit lane. A very weird one if you ask me. I've never seen that before around here in Monaco. So new things coming to light here in Division 1 of the League of Europe. It is Boualem who still leads the way, but he's still yet to pit. From Xjarry in 2nd. Campbell 3rd, Waluigi 4th, Lion in 5th. Right on the back now of Waluigi. Are we going to see another overtake down into the tunnel section? I think we might, because the Dutchman is right on the back of the Belgian here. 4th and 5th, down into the Nivelle chicane. Lion doesn't want to overdo this down into the inside. Yeah, he was not going to go for that move at all. That would have been quite silly if he went for that, to be honest. But Lion having a bit of common sense and backing off. Boualem then is into the pits. Let's see how these guys are going to be coping. In fact, Lion already been into the pits, just nearly shoves Waluigi out of the way. Waluigi taking a bit of a slower line. Lion is desperately wanting to try and get through, but he is trying to hammer him through, and Waluigi was going to come into the pits there. Lion just being a bit aggressive out on track, to be honest, and now that lets in NSX Montana to go right around the outside. Boualem is going to have to be very careful coming out. All of this, and Montana and Boualem make contact. Boualem locking up out of the pits. They're having side by side up the hill. Louis, in the meantime, I think has got Waluigi. He has. Montana nearly forcing Boualem into the wall. I don't think that was Boualem's fault. I think he just purely tried to go, and Montana and Boualem driving a bit aggressively. This is now letting ILRT Louis into play. Maybe Eagle's getting the better of some of the drivers out on track here tonight. They've just got to calm it down out on track. Xjarry leads from Campbell in 2nd, Lion in 3rd, Montana is in 4th with Boualem in 5th. Louis in 6th. Drama here though in Monaco. Boualem locking up, I think, out of the pit lane into Montana. With it being a tight-knit track, there's nothing really you can do about it. I'm not sure what Montana was trying to think by nearly punching him off into the wall slightly, but Boualem might have his own back here. But watch out for ILRT Louis in the background in the meantime. The Brit right on the back of the Frenchman, nearly having a look down into the inside of Raskas. This could be interesting. Montana and Boualem, and stuck in a bit of a DRS train. It is actually Campbell who has the net lead of the race, with Xjarry and Waluigi still yet to come into the pits. It is Xjarry who still leads the way though. Boualem in the meantime trying to get closer to Montana. Lion holding these guys up a little bit. Montana 4th, Boualem 5th. There's ILRT Louis. 4 cars. Oh, and Boualem trying to go down the inside into Mirabeau. Never going to pull that one off, Sonny Jim. Boualem down the inside. He is trying to maybe just lose his temper a little bit out on track. Not the best thing to do at all. You don't want to be driving over aggressively out on track, because not only does it put your race at risk, it also puts the other drivers' race at risk. And this is Division 1, remember, not Division 2, 3 or 4. This is the top tier of racing that you should expect to see in Division 1. Xjarry then still leads the way by 5 seconds out on track, and he's about to come across the line to start lap 13. From Campbell in 2nd, Lion just pulling out a good middle sector there, pulling away from Montana slightly. Right on board then from Lewis's point of view. He's right on the back, nearly going into the wall. Montana weaving on the straight. Maybe that was for Boualem's attempt to dive bomb down the inside into Mirabeau. Hopefully we don't see a repeat of that again. In the meantime though, Montana trying to keep Lion honest in 3rd and 4th position. Boualem in 5th, Louis in 6th, and Louis right on the back of Boualem. Boualem trying to go around the outside this time into Mirabeau. Louis just got to be careful. Lion might cause a bit of a Constantino effect. Goodness me, Boualem trying to have a half a look down into the Grand Hotel hairpin again. Not being it's almost as if they're firing warning shots at each other out on track. It's going to endanger other drivers at this rate. It's not really a healthy thing to do out on track, and that is from my perspective, and I'm sure you guys are probably going to agree with me on that. In the meantime, Alonso down into the Nivelle chicane. The German has got the move done, and in fact Verstappen goes through on Waluigi as well. So 2 for the price of 1 there. Alonso and Verstappen through. Waluigi saying no thank you at all for that. He's not going to get in the way of the drivers that are potentially going to be fighting for 5th and 6th position. Lyon then 3rd, Montana 4th, Brouilem 5th, Louis in 6th. This 4-car train still separated by just under 1.5 seconds out on track. Lap 14 out of 39. We're going through these laps quite quickly now here at Monaco. Xavi still leads, 4 seconds of gap. He's not losing too much time, but now ILRT Louis trying to look around the outside into Massenet. Not going to try and pull that one off. Could have been a bit of a Sterling Cantera Part 2 moment there. A little bit of lag picking up maybe within the lobby here, but Lyon in 3rd, Montana 4th, Brouilem in 5th. They've got to be careful as well here out on track as they come through once again towards Portier for lap 14. And we are nearly 2/3 of the way through, about a quarter of the way through this race. Brouilem then on the back of Montana. He's not trying to go around the outside, and that might have just been a bit silly. He was trying to go around on the outside of Montana. There was never a gap there at all. And I think with end plate damage there, Brouilem might have just cost himself the race there. Maybe again a bit of over-aggressive driving. Picks up another 3-second temper. The tempers are at a high level here in Division 1. It's not healthy to see. Brouilem has lost his end plate, right side end plate, I do believe, and ILRT Louis will be trying to look to get this move done as quick as possible, because he's now beginning to lose time to Montana ahead. And now up the hill, Brouilem has got to be careful here, because Louis on his outside line, both side by side through here. Louis around the outside into Massenet. Good move by ILRT Louis. Always going to get that one pulled off, and ILRT Louis is up into 5th position. That's what we like to see. Clean, fair racing out on track. It can be done. It can be done when the drivers put their minds to it. But Xavi 3.1 seconds out in front from Campbell in 2nd. Lyon in 3rd. Still holding up a bit of this train. Montana in 4th. Louis in 5th. It's really these 3 now. Lyon, Montana and Louis. You could really try and pack in the race. But Campbell is 9 seconds clear around here at Monaco compared to Lyon currently out on track, and compared to Montana especially. Lyon is doing a bit of a disservice here to Montana. Of course, Lyon, a former expat of NSX back in the day. Louis, in the meantime, on the back for ILRT, and he's not looking around the outside of Ascas. Goodness me, if he tried that, I probably would have given him a 5 if he pulled that off. But ILRT Louis right on the back of Montana. Brouilem's still trying to stick with that. He did pick up a bit of left side end plate damage. It was not right his right side end plate, it was his left side end plate actually, as he did pick up damage on. But you can see with that damage it is cost him. ILRT Louis though right on the back of Montana. He's trying to switch it back down the inside and towards Massenet, now through Casino Square. Lyon really holding these guys up, and I think Lyon has actually made a mistake as Louis goes round the outside of Liverpool. This will be bold and brave if he pulls it off, but not wide enough to pull it off, and he was never, I think, going to get that move done. But thank you for trying nonetheless. The action beginning to get spicy out on track here at Monaco. No safety cars and no VSCs here in Division 1 yet, and Xavi leads the way by 2.5 seconds still. He's yet to come into the pits, but all of this battling further down the field is beginning to let as ILRT Louis just messes up his braking point there on the back of Montana. Slight tap, nothing more, nothing less. Xavi still leads the way. When is he going to decide to come into the pits? He's on the 7 mediums, remember, and he comes across the line to start lap 17. Only 5 tenths off his personal best there as well. Campbell is in 2nd, Lyon is in 3rd, with Montana in 4th, Louis in 5th. Brouilem finally decides to come into the pits after costing his race as a result of that damage. But Louis right on the back of Montana again, getting very close to the back. Just compromises his run up the hill slightly. And Lyon, Montana and Louis once again for 3rd, 4th and 5th position. Louis this time trying to get the move done around the outside of Massenet. Again, never going to work. Montana always going to have the deeper line through there and never going to pull that move off. But ILRT Louis looking very racy. We didn't see this from him in qualifying. He had a bit of a poor qualifying, if I've got to be quite blunt and quite honest. He qualified in 5th. We would have been expecting him to qualify a bit, I think, a bit higher up. But obviously with the talent team in Division 1, it makes sense. ILRT Louis are right on the back of Montana. In fact, Montana, is right on the back of Lion as they come down into the Nivelle chicane once again. We're nearly halfway through here in Monaco. If you're just tuning in, where have you been? You've missed a lot. Xjavi leads by 2 seconds and the gap staying quite stable out in front from Campbell in second. But the main focus of the battling is for third, fourth and fifth currently out on track. This is net second. If Xjavi comes into the pits, this will be net second position. Lion doing a good job. He has been making a couple of niggly mistakes around out on track as Montana tries to look down the inside of Tandavot. Not going to get that move done though. Now up the hill towards Massenet once again. Lion, Montana. The inside gap is there. He tries to exploit it, but Lion cuts it off at the last second, and he holds on to that third position once again. And Montana's turn this time to make a bit of a mistake. Louis right on the cusp of the back end of Montana's car. The Papaya McLaren splitting the two Williamses at this stage, and Xjavi is 1.1 seconds clear from Campbell. Beginning to tell now, I think, with those tyres, that he should be coming into the pits and probably going for another set of hard compound of tyres. Xjavi then leads the way, 1.1 seconds from Campbell in second, Lion in third, Montana fourth, Louis in fifth. Just coming into some of your comments, Vamos Campbell indeed. He is currently 13 seconds away. He is 13 seconds clear of Lion. Lion is holding these two guys up a treat. There is no real overtaking opportunities around here in Monaco. Look at the speed though that ILRT Louis got through the swimming pool section, trying to exploit around the outside into the into Raskas. They're not going to quite get the move done. Halfway through then, Xjavi, Campbell, Lion, still your top three. Alt Maverick saying what a move. Maybe, again, one of the best moves I've seen in League of Europe in Monaco. ILRT Louis literally inches apart, and again inches apart here, down and up towards Massenet once again. This time trying to exploit down the inside of Montana. He looks a lot quicker than these two guys. If this was a flat track, I think Louis would have been miles ahead of these guys as Boulogne has set the new fastest lap of the race. By the way, he joined in 9th position. He repaired his front wing, and he might be on a set of hards towards the end of the race. He's on a set of mediums. They could possibly go to the end of the race. He's only been on those 2 laps. ILRT Louis hogging the back end of Montana here. Lion beginning to get away, and Montana under pressure. Ran the outside on the Nivelle chicane. This is going to be quite tight to pull this off. Louis has to overrun the corner. He'll let Montana back through, and that's what we like to see. Good movement there from ILRT Louis. He knew he wasn't going to get the move done. He backed out of the move, cut down the inside of the corner. Montana gave him the space to try and complete it, but obviously going through the corner, it's the racing line that matters, and Montana not going to be giving Louis that position. But good sportsmanship there from Louis, and that's what we like to see. Not the tarnished aggressiveness that we might have seen earlier on within the race. Another battle though developing out on track is Xjavi and Campbell, and this one is for the lead of the race. Campbell now beginning to get held up, maybe playing at his own game here, the Dutchman, against the Brit out on track. And the defending Division 2 champion has made a mockery, I think, out of this field. He's been quite lucky as well, with Lion holding up the 2 guys in behind. He'll try and look to the inside into the Nivelle chicane, not going to get that move done though. And Xjavi surely, if he wanting Campbell will be wanting Xjavi to pit in this lap and to try and free him into that clear air. Of course, Campbell will have to pit again on, he'll probably pit around lap 28, I think, lap 27, lap 28, around that point. But Xjavi, is he going to come into the pits this lap? No, he continues out on track, and it's still Xjavi in front from Campbell in second, 0.6 of a second separating the two. Lion, Montana and Louis beginning to get a little bit more racy in behind, Louis and Montana especially. And again, just trying to get out of the dirty air there, ILRT Louis. Right on the back as Alonso and Verstappen begin to battle in behind. Well, brilliant racing so far here in League of Europe Division 1. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying it. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to the channel if you are brand new. In fact, Montana and ILRT Louis nearly going side by side up towards Massenet. Nearly missed that as well. But keeping on bay, Montana just wants to get Lion out of the way. I think at any cost, if he wanted to try and get, as that ILRT Louis tries to nearly go around the outside of the Grand Hotel hairpin. Goodness me, that would have been a bold one to pull off. Dakar and Bullet Boy, though, in the meantime, are doing battle up towards this section out on track. through Massenet and into Casino Square. Daka has been a bit of a forgotten driver here. Made an early pit stop as a result of damage. Just gets a bit of a tap there from Bullet Boy. But a lot of battles beginning to happen out on track. And Luigi has came out in a lot of traffic here, and that's going to be quite costly. On lap 22 out of 39, Campbell trying to look down the inside as I've just spilt lemonade all over myself, which is fantastic. Xjerry leads the way by 0.3 of a second from Campbell in second. From Lyon in third, Montana in fourth, Louis in fifth. 15.3 seconds the gap, remember, between Campbell and Lyon at this stage. The gap actually just has come down slightly as Montana tries to look. Louis, I think, was that right side end play? He's trying to look around the outside into the inside of Casino Square. Montana, oh, I'm not sure if Louis was in the right mind to possibly do that. He's lost positions. He will recover the car. He'll be back into the pits this lap. That's a bit of a questionable one. We'll see how the stewards take that one. It is getting quite dicey here out on track, and Daka and Bullet Boy going side by side while Luigi wetting his lips at this stage. Up the hill though, Bullet Boy down the inside of Daka gets the move done. Down into Massenet on the inside this time. Bullet Boy gets the move done on Daka. Everything beginning to come into a bit of a crescendo here in League of Europe. It is Xjerry though who leads the way out on track by 0.4 of a second. Campbell then right on the back of him. The Brit against the Dutchman. The Dutchman of course still hasn't pitted yet. Campbell down the inside into Sandervot. Would be quite lucky if he could try and pull this one off. He is just beginning to let himself go a little bit, I've got to say, out on track. Campbell shouldn't really be attempting moves that aren't really his. LRT Louis then is into the pits as a result of that damage from Montana. I'm not sure if Montana completely shut the door on him. It looked to me, if I've got to have an opinion on it, looked to me as if it was a racing incident. Of course, the stewards are better placed than me at stewarding here in League of Europe, and they will decide on that one, I'm inevitably sure. But the standards of driving has been relatively good, if I've got to say. As Campbell now lines up Xjerry. Is he finally going to get the move done? Round the outside into the Nivelle chicane. Beautiful move by Campbell. He exploited that right at the best moment possible. And Campbell is through, finally into the lead of the race. He can now put the hammer down, because Xjerry will now, I think, probably respond by pitting in, and he could be leading himself onto a potential top 6 position here, Xjerry, if he wants to come into the pits, but he's not. Lap 24 about to begin. It's Campbell who leads the way now by 0.7 of a second. Good move there, good driving, that's what we like to see. Xjerry now in second, Lyon in third, with Montana in fourth. These two have been literally locked together as one, as we see while Luigi and Daka battling now down towards the Nivelle chicane. Not going to get that move done though, the Belgian. LRT Louis then in the background beginning to try and close in on these guys. He'll be quite furious, I think, by the contact that was made and the loss of front wing. It has pretty much cost him a place maybe within the top 5 here tonight, which I think he was on for fairly out on track. He will try and catch the guys ahead though, as Daka and Luigi will begin to get battered in. Luigi down the inside into Sandervot. We haven't seen a move here tonight. Luigi trying to get the move done. Daka then on the inside line coming up the hill. Luigi going to be on the outside line into Massenet. This is going to be close between these two. It's actually quite easy, as Luigi has actually floored it around the outside through Massenet. Nearly going a bit too deep into the wall there, but Luigi is through. He's up to 8th position. Good move that by the Belgian. Really tried to exploit and create a weakness there for Daka out on track, and Luigi is through and he's up to 8th position. Still, this battle rages on between Lyon and Montana. We're on lap 25 out of 39 here in Division 1. If you are wanting me to focus on Division 3 action out on track as well, I will give you an update on how Division 3 is currently getting on as well. Of course, that stream is currently live for Division 3. And it is Starger who leads, Ton Albanak in second, Tigaby in third, with Ben JS and OMG Bray right in behind. I have the privilege of commentating on a couple of those guys on a Monday night for League of Europe Formula 2, which you'll see once again next week as Montana tries to send it up the inside of Lyon. Lyon not going to let him through again. Montana not really in the best place to get that move done. Of course, drivers have to use a bit of common sense around here. I've been on about it already once, and I'll repeat it again. Drivers don't have to go for moves that aren't really there, and in that case Montana not really in the best place to go for that move at all, and Lyon sticking firm and stays in position for now. But Montana obviously probably quite annoyed that he's been behind Lyon for the past couple of laps. There's a yellow flag in sector 1 and 2. I think that's Buellem that has round at the top of the hill at Casino Square. He has, and he's lost his front wing. He can go round though and repair that front wing and still pick up 2 points there out on track. Lyon pretty much getting pushed around now by Montana. It's almost as if they've got like a toe lead onto that. Montana then will have to go around the outside here on Lyon into Sandavos. Montana round the outside on Lyon. Oh, if he pulled that off, it would have been a good move. He went into the wall. It's now side by side up the hill between these two former NSX teammates. Montana, Lyon all the way around the outside. Buellem is at the race, and a safety car has been deployed as Montana has just completed that move in the best possible manner. Talk about turning a negative into a positive there. Montana getting the move done finally on Lyon just in time for the safety car to come out. Ex-Jerry has picked up a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. But first safety car out on track, there is Buellem's car. He has actually crashed that down the hill towards the Novell chicane there. So that is where he has lost his car. So safety car out on track, the first one tonight in League of Europe Division 1, and Campbell now will lead the way. It's a choice now. Do the drivers pit in? If I was in the drivers' boots now, I would be pitting in this lap, and I would be ensuring myself that I get a good finish out on track. Campbell and Ex-Jerry are at the big advantage because everyone has to stick to their deltas. Ex-Jerry now is on for second place out on track. Montana is in. Lyon staying out though. Campbell is going to be rejoining though in pole position at the front of the queue. Ex-Jerry and Lyon just going through there. So Ex-Jerry actually rejoins in third position, but big plus that for Ex-Jerry. 12 laps to go. He's on a set of soft compound of tyre. He's behind Lyon, who's on 18 lap all mediums and will have to pit again. Campbell, who is ahead and he's on a set of mediums. This might turn out to be one of the tactical plays of the season so far from Ex-Jerry. And I mean that quite literally, because I think he's on a set of softs. Obviously Lyon might have to pit again. I think he might have been caught out by this strategy. He's surely not going to go to the end of the race on a set of mediums, because that is frankly bordering on lunacy, if I've got to be honest, with the tyre strategy around here. But with 12 laps to go, 11 and a half if you're being picky, we're underneath the safety car. And if you're just tuning in to the action here in Division 1 of League of Europe, well, where have you been for the last 27 laps or so? Campbell then leads the way from Lyon in second, Ex-Jerry third, Bullet Boy fourth, Verstappen in fifth. And again, I repeat, we're under the safety car here tonight. Nico saying robbery. Absolute robbery. It's Monaco. But why on mediums? Yeah. Why on mediums? I think the softs could have easily gone to the end of the race. I think Campbell might have had a bit of a brain lapse there, if I've got to be honest. I'm not sure if he had a bit of a brain freeze, if he's having any ice cream or anything out on track, but not the best moment, I think, for him out on track, Campbell, tonight. But he's going to be out there on a set of mediums to the end of the race. I think you could call it a disadvantage. You could also call it an advantage as well. Campbell, obviously, being on a set of mediums, he is the lead of the race now. He will be backing these guys up until the sun doesn't shine, quite literally. He'll be wanting Ex-Jerry to make a mistake, which he has been prone to do a couple of times tonight. Ex-Jerry will be prone to making a few mistakes. Campbell is at a disadvantage because of the tyres, but he's also at an advantage because he can now bring the guys behind to forcing themselves into a bit of mistakes. That's what we're going to have to be watching out for here with Campbell. Obviously, he's on a set of mediums. They could overheat. Yeah, you're pretty much right. Though the softs can last 12 laps, but they can overheat. They'll probably last around 7 or 8 before they tend to go off. And underneath the safety car, I'll repeat the point that I made a couple of nights ago in TTL F1. Where underneath the safety car, the drivers, the tyres only lose, the softs especially, only lose about a percentage point less than what they would if they were going flat out on track. So, say we've got 2 laps into the safety car, That's 2% that could be between winning or possibly losing this race. We're talking really about thin margins here. We should see the safety car lights go out any second now if we are going to get back under racing here on lap 28 out of 39. It should be at this point here. They are not going out though. As Campbell then will back up the pack. Hopefully, but it looks like we're going to get another lap of the safety car because Louis and Daka are still not on the back of the pack. So then, we're in for a good 10 laps or so here in League of Europe Division 1, and after this, of course, you can follow me if you want to Competitive Racing Club. I'm going to be doing commentary there later on from 8:30. That will be GT3 Tier 1 around Le Mans. So if you want to see more racing action from a very similar part of the country, come and tune in on TTTV. Myself and Alan Cavey will be taking you through that one. Nothing like a bit of self-promotion on a Division 1 stream right there. As I take now a well-earned drink after commentating with 29 laps. Campbell then is out in front. Through the Grand Hotel hairpin they come once again. Lion, X-Jerry, Bullet Boy, everyone is in under the safety car now. Daka should have pitted. He would have been coming out of the back of the safety car here. He should have pitted that lap because otherwise he's only going to be getting around for scrap points. He should have tried to exploit a bit of weakness in some of the guys ahead. While Ouija especially I was focusing on, he could have tried to exploit a bit of a weakness. It's a bit mixed this grid, I've got to be honest. We're underneath the safety car. Lion should be expected to come into the pits before the end of this race. Bullet Boy will get to the end, I think, no problem on that set of mediums. But we should see the safety car pit in this lap. Beautiful timing on that, and Campbell will now back up the pack. So let's see if he is going to take this very slowly indeed. I think Campbell, of course, a new rule for 2019, the safety car has to be within the pit lane and across the safety car line for the drivers to go. And Campbell backing up the pack nicely, and everyone's staying within a very spaced out manner, which is good to see. Campbell now through Raskas, beginning, he'll floor it out of Anthony Noches, and here we go, back underway here in Division 1, and Campbell has floored it from the final corner, and it's already 7/10 clear. We go green once again here in Division 1, and it's Campbell who leads the way by 0.8 of a second. Lion in second, X-Jerry in third. Big advantage that from Campbell underneath the start, because Lion is going to be holding up X-Jerry, a bit of a treat. Bullet Boy then, getting in the pressure from Verstappen, up towards Massenet and Casino Square once again, and the Dutchman not finding a way through on the Brit, because the Brit, oh, down the inside goes Verstappen, trying to go down the inside into Mirabel, not going to get the move done there, however, as Bullet Boy holds on to fourth position. A little bit of a Constantino effect caused him behind as a result of that move from Verstappen. Not sure if he picked up any end plate damage, I don't think he did. Montana then on the back, he's going to be the unlucky driver out of this race, I feel. Campbell then, 2.5 seconds clear. That's what I mean about an advantage for the leader here around Monaco. Montana trying to go around the outside from the Welsh chicane, backs off at the last minute, not going to get that move done. X-Jerry then looking down the inside of Tabac, not going to get the move done there. Campbell, 3 seconds clear. He has floored it. What a restart from the Brit, and he's going to go. I'm not doubting for 1 minute now. He is in pole position to take this win out on track. 3.5 seconds to Lion, who has got to pit. X-Jerry is into the pits. I think he picked up from wing damage. That now frees Bullet Boy into the clutches of Lion. Of course, no DRS open until the next lap around. So lap 32 as well, we'll get the DRS once again. I'll see Louis in the meantime trying to get on the back of Alonso. We've driven a very quiet and consolidated race here tonight. One of the forgotten guys, as is Bullet Boy, his teammate, but both Hasses driving well. Montana right on the back of Verstappen, not going to lunge it down the inside into Mirabel. Bass! Verstappen not giving him the room. Montana, I think, was never going to get that move done anyways, and again, it's one of those things out on track. There's a bit of Constantino effect causes him behind. Campbell leads the way. 5.6 seconds, that gap literally is a winning one from here on in. Lion is holding up the field. Quite literally here, he's holding up all the way down to 9th position. So, let's see if any moves can be pulled off in this train. Hop on board because the train is about to depart Monaco quite literally with Lion at the front leading the carriage with Bullet Boy in behind. Verstappen, Montana, Alonso. Bullet Boy could have had a look down the inside into Raskas, and again Lion taking it cautiously. I'm not sure why Lion is not pitting. He should have pitted and actually try to get out of the way of these guys and actually produce a much better race. Lyon throwing himself into a ring for a possible podium. Not sure what he's trying to do, but Bullet Boy with a much better exit out of Sandoval. And Campbell leads the way by 7.2 seconds. And as I say, it's a winning margin that is out in front. And the gap is literally going up 3/4 tenths per corner as Verstappen is down the inside of Bullet Boy, trying to get the move done at Mirrorball. They're going to be side by side into the Grand Hotel F, and Verstappen respectfully backs off. There's a bit of contact in the background. Alonso Louis getting caught up in that Constantino effect. Everyone is probably thinking, Lyon, just get out the way, man, honestly. Campbell, 8.4 seconds out in front. Montana right on the back of Verstappen, though, in the meantime. Down the inside goes Montana. Can he get it into... Oh, what a move that is! Montana, shades of old Division 1 champion Montana down the inside into the Neville chicane. Had the tyres, had the car, just broke right on time into the corner. Brilliant, brilliant move that by Montana. He frees himself out of Verstappen's clutches, and now he can focus himself on possibly getting second position out on track as Lyon and Bullet Boy are second and third. 33 out of 39 now, and it's Campbell who leads by 9.4 seconds. Lyon in second, Bullet Boy in third. Montana with that utterly brilliant move. Shades of old there from Montana. He's the fourth. Verstappen in fifth. Alonso on the back, coming through Massenet into Casino Square once again in sixth. LRT Louis is seventh, while Luigi keeping him on a slow in eighth position. The Belgian right on the back of the Brit. Dakar is still in there in ninth. Surely you can't get those tyres to the end. 31 laps is going to be quite hard to do. Louis round the outside of the Grand Hotel hairpin, trying to fight it all the way through on Alonso. Alonso not giving him any rooms at all, and Louis not giving up with any moment. And he could look to the outside here. He could be on the inside into the Bell chicane. Alonso's got to maintain that car. Louis goes into the back of him slightly. Don't think Louis was going to get the move done anyways, but that's a bit questionable from... He can make two moves, of course, out on track. One to position the car and one to defend the position. I think I saw three moves there, if I'm gonna be honest. But look at this, Lyon holding up the train once again. Bullet Boy is literally pushing him around the corners. Campbell leads until lap 34. Lyon in second, Bullet Boy in third. Half the field could be considered unlucky at this stage. Montana is in fourth, Verstappen in fifth, Alonso sixth, Louis seventh, while Luigi eighth, Dakar ninth. Xjavi not out of this either. He's in 10th position as everyone filters through Massenet once again. Bullet Boy then, hooking right on the back of Lyon. I think you know what is probably going to come very soon indeed, as that is Alonso trying to go down the inside of Verstappen, the German on the Dutchman. They're going to go side by side, and Alonso trying to fight the car around the outside into the Grand Hotel hairpin. Good move that by Alonso. Louis trying to go up the inside of Verstappen, trying to repeat the favour. Verstappen and Louis get caught on each other, down into Portier. Louis has to give up the position there. Good sportsmanship once again shown by the Brit. It's all getting a bit tense out on track, but Campbell leads the way by 13.3 seconds out on track, and that gap is just going to extend and extend and extend towards the end of the race, because Lyon not going to be giving up second position lightly. People in the comments might be thinking, what on earth is his strategy? He cannot get to the end, I don't think, on that set of tyres. As well, Luigi is through on LRT. Louis, who has actually lost his outside end plate damage, that might be his race over and done with. Bullet Boy, though, looking to the outside on Lyon into Sandoval. Not going to get the move done, though. But right on the back of him as they come up the hill. Lyon with much superior speed up the hill, just gaining that little bit of buffer over Bullet Boy. He looks to the inside through Massenet. Louis goes on to set a soft compound of tyres. Will try and claim that fastest lap of the race. Alonso switches to the inside now on Montana. Not going to get that move done. And again, it's getting pretty dicey out on track. Everyone has just got to be careful. They've just got to maintain that bit of common sense. It's Monaco, for goodness sake. It's not like you're going around Mexico and it's a wide out track that I can think of. This is a street circuit, remember. This is a street circuit, and the drivers have got to keep their cool and their calm. I know that it's frustrating being behind the car that is on 26 lap old mediums and probably will be getting a podium out of this, but what else can you do? It's Monaco. At the end of the day, these drivers should be credited, I think, more than anything else for driving around here. Some whimpering out, I think, at the last minute. Not to name who that was, of course, but Campbell leads the way then by 16.3 seconds from Lion in second position. Bullet Boy is in third, Montana fourth, Alonso fifth. Bullet Boy again getting close to the back of Lion, again not going to be close enough, and look at the speed up the hill. Lion just maintains that superior speed in that Williams, and he just pulled out enough of a buffer to let Bullet Boy try and come at him into Massenet, but never close enough to get the move done. Alonso looking pretty dicey on the back of Montana. He'll have to force himself around the outside into Mirabel Bass, not going to be getting the move around there, but Campbell 17.5 seconds, but you know who's going to be winning this one? It's pretty much it's pretty much a boxing match towards the end of the race here to see who gets the podiums. But penalties might decide all of this. And trust me, when I say this, it's not one of the races of the season, I've got to be honest. It's been average, average at best, if I've got to be honest. It's not like some of the races we've seen last season especially. Campbell leads the way then 18 seconds, and he goes on to lap 37, so 3 laps for the leaders left. And Campbell leads the way, Lion in second, Bullet Boy right on the back for an unlikely podium position, nearly forcing Lion nearly into the wall there through Raskas. He's getting pretty impatient, as will the drivers in behind. 3 laps to go for these guys now, and Lion comes across the line in second, Bullet Boy still in third, Montana in fourth, Alonso fifth, Verstappen sixth. Much better exit there by Bullet Boy, he's now on the back of Lion, but once again Lion with that pace up the hill, just flooring it from Bullet Boy. And that seems to me the order of the day. Montana and Alonso, 4th and 5th. Verstappen, Montana now looking to the inside of Bullet Boy, forcing his way through. I know you're the Division 1 champion, but you shouldn't be doing that. Bullet Boy then is down into P4. Montana fighting his way through. It is getting dicey out on track. Maybe the drivers will be pulled in for a bit of a slap wrist after this one, but Campbell leads the way by 20 seconds. And I've got to be arguably honest here and say Campbell has been the cleanest driver out on track regardless. I think he's been absolutely fantastic. He deserves all the credit he can get. He's taken advantage of a slow car, 21 seconds, no opportunity for overtaking him behind, and Campbell has taken this race by the scruff of the neck and he's just owned it completely. It's dominance. It's domination at its finest. So I think it might be the only win he might pick up this season, but still, credit should be thrown his way. Campbell then leads. He's a sector ahead of the rest of the field. That's how far ahead he is. Campbell is a sector, he's a full first sector ahead of the guys who are just coming up the hill now towards Massenet. Ryan still in second, Montana now up to third as a result of that move down on the inside of Mirabel Bass, with Bullet Boy and Alonso 4th and 5th, Verstappen in 6th, while Luigi in 7th, Ex-Jarry and Daka fighting in the meantime. Daka's got to be given credit as well. He's kept his nose clean here tonight, and Daka, the Scotsman, is on for potential good result. Judging by penalties how it might plan out, this could be quite interesting indeed. But Campbell leads the way by 22.9 seconds out on track from Lion in second, Montana in third, Bullet Boy in fourth. But the final lap is about to begin for Campbell. He is a full sector clear of the rest of the field, and well, he's really taken this race by the scruff of the neck. And honestly, Lion is doing everything for second to judge on. I definitely agree on that. Campbell then through Massenet for the final time. He has owned this race from the front. I don't think it'll be quite as good as reaction of Verstappen last time around in Spain, but Campbell is certainly going to be picking up his first Division 1 win. Alonso right on the back of Bullet Boy though in the meantime is going to get pretty dicey in behind. We'll focus on Bullet Boy then, who's on the back of Montana, superior pace up the straight. Alonso trying to go down the inside into Massenet on the final lap here. Ex-Jarry and Daka nearly side by side. Daka and Ex-Jarry just looking for a move that might not have been his. He's losing control of the car as well. Lion is doing everything in his power to stay for second. Campbell though in the meantime is through the swimming pool section for the final time. He has kept his nose clean out on track. The Brit is going to produce one of the not one of the races of the season, one of the most dominant displays you will ever see in Monaco, and that's all thanks to Lion. Here, have to thank him after that one. Campbell takes the win here in Monaco. Fireworks light up the night sky in Monaco. all of the battling on him behind though. Lion just contacting the wall slightly. Could give Montana and Bullet Boy a bit of a look in. It's still quite dicey for the final podium positions. Lion coming around Raskas then. He's going to be getting second, I think. Montana, Bullet Boy, they're going to stay in the positions as they are, I think. As they come across the line now, Lion will be coming into second. Montana will be third. Across the line, penalties go Montana's way. So Montana, well, Ouija ends himself up on the podium for an unlikely podium. RRT Louis ran the final corner. He's picked up left side end plate damage. I don't think he cares. He's across the line in 10th position. Not the best debut race for him in Monaco. Well, Division 1 had everything. Clean overtaking to begin off with, then a safety car, and then just somebody formed out on track. But Campbell really taking the race by the scruff of the neck. He deserves every bit of plaudits he can get. A fantastic win from Campbell. Took the race by the scruff of the neck. Got the overtake done on ex-Jarry at the time to take the lead of the race. Then under the safety car, I talked about how we would get the advantage because of Lion on the older set of mediums. That worked out to an absolute treat. Campbell wins in Monaco. A fantastic win. And a first win in Division 1 for him as well. As eventually we see the final grid order, and it's Campbell who takes the win. The Scotsman wins here in Monaco. A fantastic win as well. Montana takes second, Waluigi in third, Lion in fourth. Plenty of penalties for some of the guys. ex-Jarry in fifth, Bullet Boy in sixth, Verstappen seventh, Dakar eighth, Alonso ninth, Louis in 10th. Bill and Caesar, remarkably, only the two DNFs here in Monaco tonight. Boulem and Caesar respectively retiring out on track. Boulem crashing out the Nivelle chicane. Caesar retiring in the pit lane. Well then, what a race out on track. Obviously, I'm sure there will be a lot of comments being made within the Discord. Maybe some of them not quite as what we might have hoped. Let's have a look then and tune into Division 1. Campbell does take the win. A fantastic win, I've got to say. And what a remarkable win for the Scotsman. It was a fantastic drive from him. As I say, took the race by the scruff of the neck. Literally the cleanest driver out on track. That's what you get when you drive clean around Monaco. That's what you get if you keep your nose clean as well out on track. And what a drive from Campbell. He deserves every plaudit he can get. I'm fully in his corner by saying that was just complete domination around Monaco. Thank goodness that is over though. Monaco is over and done with. Let's have a look then and see what people are saying. Hope you paid for that self-promotion advert. I did, honestly. I don't get paid much. I don't get paid at all, but I did pay for myself to get that self-promotion advert. Alt Maverick coming in saying absolutely amazing. Totally agree on that. Waluigi being the luckiest guy in the league, I totally agree on that as well. It's Monaco, what do you expect at the end of the day? A fascinating race. I don't think we've probably seen the last of it. I'm sure there will be stewards' investigations and stewards' reports to come out in the meantime. Well, what action out on track? Of course, we now get going once again in League of Europe. Next week we go to Canada for the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. And what a track we have in prospect for you, and what a race we have in prospect for you. We should see Alpha Trix back, we should see Toxic back, we should hopefully see Cantera back as well, and we should see maybe a few debutants along the way as well next week in Canada. But I'm going to end it here. I've got to jump off to go to CRC commentary in half an hour. Thank you very much for watching here in Division 1. I've been James Head. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.